views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
And hello and welcome to Open, the one and only show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm your host, Darren Hyman. Today we're going to update you on what's happening in and around our borough. Coming up on today's show, we'll give you an update on what's been going on right here in the Bronx. Plus, President Donald Trump vows to let Obamacare fail after the GOP continues to disagree on the health care bill. Plus, the president has yet another meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. We'll discuss that and more when we sit down with our political commentator. After that, we'll hear from the Bronx Community Health Network and what benefits they have to offer to Bronx residents. Then we're going to hear about one organization that is dedicated to servicing the community through many programs. We'll hear about all the organization's food pantry and how helpful it's been for the community. And then we'll hear about the importance of learning how to swim and how it remains a big issue right here in urban communities. And then finally, we'll hear about the upcoming Bollywood event taking place right here in the borough of the Bronx. All this and much more is heading your way. We want you to stay with us because right now we're officially open. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Darren Hyman, and today is Wednesday, July 19th. Of course, you're watching Open, a live program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. We want to encourage you to stay connected to us, and you can find out more about us at Twitter at BronxNet TV and Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Kicking things off with some Bronx updates. A lot's been going on, but now we'll inform you. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is making headlines, announcing a $32 million plan to help tackle the rat infestation in different areas of New York City, including right here in our borough on Grand Concourse. The city will let out solar trash cans and will forbid leaving trash out for more than 2 hours. The initiative also includes cementing the floors in NYCHA buildings and increasing fines of illegal dumping from $1,500 to $5,000. According to officials, the plan will cut down on rat-infested areas by 70%. Now, the trash cans will roll out immediately, and other aspects of the initiative are expected to take off by the end of the year. Well, drivers in New York City can now pay for metered parking on their cell phones. According to the Department of Transportation, 85,000 metered parking throughout the 5 boroughs can now be paid through an app called Park NYC. The app will allow users to preload money in a digital wallet before entering a number on a printed parking spot meter to pay for them, says the Department of Transportation Commissioner. Now, drivers will also be able to even add money remotely if they didn't run out of time. The online system will link the registered license plate of a driver and therefore notify ticket enforcement agents that a payment was made. And more than 10,000 people currently have the app, and it's much easier for New York City residents to pay for parking. In other news, Financial Services Superintendent Maria Tivulo has announced the approval of new banking development districts right here in our borough, helping to expand access to financial services to underserved Bronx and New York communities. The new banking development districts will be in District 4 in the Bronx and parts of Clinton Hill and Prospect Heights in Brooklyn. Under the Banking Development District, programs such as Spring Bank and Savings Bank will receive different ideas helping expand banking services and products for the community. In other news, the Bronx River Alliance is celebrating the construction of its new environmental learning lab. The $13 million project will allow the group room for environmental labs as well as storing kayaks and canoes. The building will be environmentally friendly and will run on solar energy. Bronxites have much to look forward to with the new building. Volunteers and community members all came together to help revamp one of Ben Ali Kelly's community gardens in the South Bronx. And our reporter, Shanice Powell, brings us the story.
The Banana Kelly's community garden and center in the South Bronx is being revamped to create a space where members can enjoy comfort in a more beautified setting.
We'll be building some picnic tables. Inside, we're going to have a group painting, cleaning up their community room and community space, and just doing a good general cleanup and giving the residents of this building here a pleasant place to come out and hang out and spend time.
Rebuilding Together New York City is accompanied by HGTV, Altice USA, and 50 volunteers from the DIY network to help make this effort a success.
Rebuilding Together New York City, we're a nonprofit. We provide free critical home repairs to people in need. We also do what we call community revitalization. And what that is, we find community partners, like a Banana Kelly, applies for our services, right? And then we get an Altice, Optimum, HGTV sponsorship, and they bring money and lots of willing bodies. And so we find a project, in our pipeline.
Well, we're going to see a lot of activity. You can see right now we're carrying all the material down, so we're going to build some planters in the back. And what's great is that it's a community activity. It allows them to grow their own source of food in the back, and it's a great way to get together, to plant, because when you're able to get back there and plant something with your own two hands and actually eat what you grow, that's an amazing thing. So we're going to do a bunch of planters down there. We're going to clean it up, put some tables down there, make it a real community center, and a great place to come and hang out.
Having applied for their services, the Banana Kelly community now benefits from an improved air quality. With the Bronx County having some of the highest rates of asthma in the United States, it relieves residents to know there are methods being implemented to combat the issue.
When I heard about this opportunity to build gardening beds and help create green spaces in our community, I thought that was a beautiful idea, and it helps with the air quality.
From constructing new garden beds to painting community rooms, the volunteers work tirelessly for the Banana Kelly community. They not only provide a better space for the residents, but contribute to beautifying the Bronx. This is Shanice Powell from BronxNet.
And thank you, Shanice. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll have the latest in politics.
Every Monday night at 9, we talk to the borough's movers and shakers about the latest in Bronx politics, education, healthcare, arts and culture, and literally any and everything that's important to the people of the Bronx. There's a reason why Bronxites have been turning to Bronx Talk for more than 20 years, because Bronx Talk is about you and me, the people of the Bronx. So we'll see you Monday night at 9.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
After another attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare, Republicans have reached yet another dead end. 3 Republican senators spoke out against the health care bill, causing it to collapse. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has stated that Republicans will not own it and will let Obamacare fail. Also, the White House has confirmed that President Trump and Vladimir Putin had an undisclosed discussion for a second time. Joining us now to talk about these topics, we now welcome our political commentator and owner of Retrovision Media, Lee Bynes, to the set. And Lee, of course, looking at the fail yesterday, where does this leave Republicans?
Exactly where they deserve to be. Firstly, let's go make this simple and stick with the numbers. We cannot separate what happened with healthcare from the numbers that came in this week with regards to Donald Trump's approval ratings. We're looking at 36%, which is the lowest a president has had at this standing in his administration. We're looking at the disapproval numbers at 58%. Now you tie those two numbers to the 17% that approval rating for the health care plan that they were trying to market, and now you have Republicans having the guts, the strength, and the wherewithal now to move on the president and start voting with their conscience, voting with their principles and their pride, and not voting with their party. And that's one of the reasons why the bill failed. The other and the primary reason is why the bill didn't pass is because, for number one, Barack Obama's the Affordable Health Care Act was already in the public square. The people got used to it. They understood what health care really was all about and what it should cost. When the Republicans came to repeal it and replace it, the people got an idea to see exactly what it was going to be replaced with. So,
well, there's the 24 million people that possibly stood as losing health care. Of course, that played a big part on some of the Republican senators who said, listen, I just can't go with this right now.
Well, yeah, because they were faced with their conscience. And the people who were going to lose their health care were at the bottom of the barrel. These are talking about the sickest people, the oldest people, and those who are poor. Generally, that's not particularly a constituency that's going to have much power in Washington. What happened was that the public overall rose up and said something. We had 450,000 doctors were represented when their lobbyists went to tell Congress that, look, this stuff will not fly. And when you're talking about physicians, their primary objective is to do no harm. And to sign off on this bill or not fight as hard as they could obviously they're harming the people that they are hired to protect and handle the most.
Let me jump here and ask about what does this do for the president, given the fact that he went into office saying, listen, his main job was going to repeal and replace Obamacare. This has not yet happened. He's not yet owning it, saying that he's not going to own it, and he's saying that
the Republicans aren't going to own it. So if he's abdicating his responsibility for getting this thing through, he's exactly where he's supposed to be, and that's one of the reasons why his numbers are so low. The fact that he's willing to walk away from this issue, which is 1/6 of the U.S. economy. We're talking about trillions of dollars. We're talking about millions of people. And he's going to walk away and leave as many as 32 million people down the line uncovered. I don't see how he could take that or any of these ideas into the 2016 elections and expect to come out on the winning end.
So looking forward, what does this do for the upcoming midterm elections? How does this play out? Do the Republicans take a black eye on this one?
You know what? As bad as the numbers are, and they are horrible, and they pretty much should project a bloodbath in the midterm elections, the Democrats have a responsibility now and an opening to come in and be the heroes. They can wind up rescuing this situation. If they don't come up with a plan, if they don't bring up those magic 2 words, public option, as an alternative, if 30-some-odd million people are going to lose their health care because the insurance carriers are leaving the various exchanges, then something has to come in and rescue these people in some way, shape, or form. If the Democrats are smart enough, they will come in with solutions and offer them not to the Republicans, but directly to the people and let them know that, hey, we are on your side. We have your back. I guarantee you that the numbers in the House will shift during the midterm elections. Anything short of that, and the only thing that the Democrats will have going for themselves is the fact that they gave their constituents something to vote against, but they didn't give them anything to vote for.
In other news, what we led with was also the president, we were finding out from the White House, had an undisclosed meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, one at the G20. Some people are not surprised whatsoever. What are we to make of
I
this?
think we should be very, very worried on that particular issue. Let's just put these things in perspective. Vladimir Putin, well, whereas Donald Trump is arguably the most powerful man in the world because of the military, the economy, and the United States, the history, and all of that kind of stuff, his adversary is the most dangerous man in the world because Vladimir Putin has a plan. I mentioned last week on this program that I wrote a book. I studied this man for the last 5 years very, very carefully. I watched how he handled the Edward Snowden issue. I watched how he took control of Syria. I saw how he strong-armed Crimea from the European Union and Barack Obama. I saw how he calculated the fact that he could, the prize that he was getting by breaking up Ukraine was worth the sanctions that would be placed upon him because he knew down the line he had avenues and ways to get those sanctions relieved down the line. When I look at this as an analyst and I go back and look at what James Clapper said and John Brennan said with regards to whether or not the Russians changed the outcome of the elections by way of the hard way, by going into the ballot and changing the numbers to make sure that Trump won. That's not what he did. I agree with that. Where I do disagree with the intelligence community is the fact that yes, he did get the person that he did because by releasing those damaging emails that they were able to get from the DNC to be able to show Bernie Sanders voters that they were being locked out of the process. He changed not the vote, he changed people's minds. Whereas we will never know how many people
You're
who
saying
did
perception.
He changed their perception of what was going on.
So let me go on the critic side. The critics say, listen, two world leaders can meet. What's the problem? They're world leaders. Why not have the opportunity to meet?
Because if we keep this in context, and one of the reasons why Donald Trump and his family and his associates and related individuals around him are in so much trouble is because of the fact that he has the appearance of being compromised. The word in Russian is kompromat. Kompromat means it's a concept they use where they gather intelligence on people, they get dirt on people. They have what's called these honey spots where you go over there, you're a businessman, you got a lot of dough, your wife is at home, and they invite you to a party and set you up with a nice young lady in a room with cameras. And then, you know what, a couple of years later, if you happen to be in a position where where you could do them a favor, that's when they let you know that you've been compromised. Now, whether or not Donald Trump has been compromised in that way is difficult to say, but I do know that there was an intelligence dossier put together on him by a guy named Christopher Steele. Christopher Steele put together this whole package of information with a lot of stuff in there that was extremely damaging and derogatory to the president. But I will not mention any of that stuff on this show because a lot of that information hasn't been confirmed. But the man just sitting with Vladimir Putin, only his interpreter is there. No one is at Donald Trump's side to kind of protect him, guide him, give him some clues as to what he should say and what he shouldn't say. That was a very dangerous thing to happen.
So for those people who look at this and say this is something that really shouldn't have happened, the two world leaders shouldn't meet, but obviously a lot of people do feel it. This is what world leaders do. And the Trump camp says, listen, we met, we talked, and that's it.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that this was an event for the G20 leaders and their spouses. So we're talking about a grouping of 40 people in that room. Donald Trump didn't spend that much time with any of his friends and allies. He spent nearly an hour in a corner talking to Vladimir Putin. And considering how much credibility the president has when he says that nothing happened, it was just a matter of pleasantries and how you're doing and how can we get along better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it's difficult to believe him. 3 weeks ago, I came here with 7 pages of lies in 10-point print that indicated that was verified lies. So when you have that credibility gap, you have to do everything you possibly can to make everything look as though it's above board. That did not happen.
We'll come back next week to discuss the rest of what happens with healthcare, and then we'll see what the latest is with Russia. Of course, Lee Bonds, our political contributor. Thanks so much.
And I'm going to smile for once.
Yeah, smile. That's it. All right. I'm going to smile too, because we're taking a break. And we'll be back with more show right after this.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Although Washington is going through a healthcare battle, organizations such as the Bronx Community Health Network continue to provide many services to those who are insured and uninsured. Joining us now to tell us more about the organization and what it has to offer to Bronx residents, we welcome now to our set Bronx Community Health Network Executive Director, Eleanor Larrier, and thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for having us, Darwin.
And it's good to have you, as we had in our last segment, of course, talking about all the issues with healthcare. But here at Bronx Community Health Network, you have the opportunity to actually provide services that many of our residents are taking advantage of. So can you just, for briefly, give us a little overview about Bronx Community Health Network?
Yes, Bronx Community Health Network is a federally funded community-based organization and health center. We provide services to ensure that the health status of the Bronx residents gets better. We provide a range of services in a number of ways through access to community health centers. There are 18 community and school-based health centers that are part of our network, serving over 400,000 people per year, and they make, I'm sorry, it's backwards, serving 113,000 people per year who make over 400,000 visits.
Okay.
So it's there. And we provide services at the health centers, comprehensive quality healthcare services. And we also have an amazing health promotion and education program that is nationally recognized, and we consider it our Center of Excellence. That consists of several programs, beginning with our emergency room diversion program, where we have liaisons in the emergency room at Weiler Hospital, and they work with the healthcare team there to identify people who are used in the emergency room for routine care as opposed to emergency care. And they counsel them, they give them information about our centers and help them to get appointments. They follow up to make sure that they keep the appointments. And if they don't have health insurance, they have them get interviews with our insurance specialists and also make connections with a primary care doctor.
Are there some primary things that you see coming through your door here in the borough of the Bronx? Because of course we have a lot of needs here, health needs in the borough of the Bronx. What are you seeing coming through your doors?
Coming through the doors primarily in terms of chronic disease, hypertension, diabetes, asthma, HIV/AIDS. Those are some of the major issues that we deal with. However, our team of medical and other professionals, as well as our community health workers and our patient navigators, are able to connect the patients once they've seen the doctors, once they've had the clinical assessments, and need other assistance, connect them with the amazing network of services that are in the Bronx. because even though we have those problems in the Bronxites are resilient, and there are a number of resources that are there, and we do a terrific job in connecting them. Yesterday we received an award from Food Bank for New York City for providing the most referrals to their network. They have a network, a tiered engagement network that provides warm handoffs to services like housing, food pantries, SNAP program, GED programs, you name it. They're all of the resources that are needed to help people manage their health care and to take care of their health so that they can be productive citizens.
And you're pretty excited because I know you have an upcoming event around the corner.
Yes, on August 17th, every year we celebrate National Community Health Center Week, the second week in August. And on August 17th, we have our annual Community Health Champions dinner, where we honor patients who have done well in terms of following their doctor's advice and following their medical plan and have reduced their weight if that was one of the goals, or are eating healthier or getting more physically active.
And so before I let you go, I know you want to talk about your Bronx Reach Champs, and they're very
Yes.
important to you and the work that you guys do as well.
Yes. Bronx Reach Champs is a coalition, a public-private sector, multi-sector coalition of agencies, community-based and faith-based organizations and individuals, approximately 60 or more, that are working together to reduce obesity in the Bronx. There are a number of initiatives that we have implemented, including Shop Healthy, where we have trained bodega and supermarket owners to stock healthy foods, healthy beverages, using the New York City Department of Health Shop Healthy program. We're working in 7 parks in the Northeast Bronx to increase physical activity. We've provided training for 17 people who are now going to go out into the parks and provide fitness activities for them. We've also working with K through 12 schools and childcare providers to enhance the level of physical activity in those programs. In the K through 12 schools, the 25 schools that we're working with on 8 campuses have added additional programming to ensure that students get 60 minutes of activities per day. And we're also working with the home care, in-home child care providers to ensure that their curriculum also includes fun activities for kids, because they require the same 60 minutes of activities per day.
And before we leave, tell people how they can get in touch with Bronx Community Health Network, because obviously you're doing a great work, and you have a lot of people who are taking advantage of your services, but there may be somebody out there today watching and saying, listen, I need to do this.
Okay. They could call us at 718-405-7720. We're also on Facebook, on Twitter, and we have our website. You can connect with us on our website also.
All righty. Okay. Eleanor Larrier, thank you so much, the Chief Executive Officer for the Bronx Community Health Network. Thank you much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
All righty, listen, we're going to take a quick break. We encourage you now to stay tuned, because we got more show coming up right after these messages.
This is why you took a second job. Why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. Why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
My love We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
And we're back here on Open. Well, through their community outreach and programs, the Bronx Bethany Community Corporation continues to help families throughout the borough. The organization has multiple programs, including a food pantry for anyone who's in need of services. Now, joining us to tell us more about the organization, we welcome the Executive Director of the Bronx Bethany Community Corporation, Ms. Melanie Blackwood, and thank you for coming to share with us. How's everything?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, another organization provides a lot to the community, and for you guys, particularly in the area of food, and there are a lot of hungry Bronxites out there.
There are a lot of hungry families, and what Bronx Bethany Community Corporation strives to do is to compassionately and practically serve the Bronx in providing resources to food and access to other areas that they need access to.
So walk us through the food pantry. Actually, you give a lot back to the community. How does it work, and when do people come through your doors?
Okay, so we have a food pantry that started in 2008, and we currently are open every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So folks can come in, they can call 311 to get access to where the pantry is located. And they can come in from Wednesdays, first come, first serve, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and be served according to their family size.
And when you talk about first come, first serve, that that denotes the fact that there's obviously a need, and sometimes things run out.
Yes, yes. Well, fortunately, we do partner with the Food Bank for New York City. We partner with EFAP, the United Way, where we get food on a weekly basis, and we order food each week to serve the community in which we're located. Yeah.
Awesome. And so as you're talking about serving the community, who are your target audience? Who are you seeing come through your doors? Is it more a majority men, women?
Well, we see a lot of low-income families, a lot of grandparents, a lot of unemployed, people who are unemployed, and some people who are employed as well. So it varies, but we do see people who are coming in with a real need for food and a real need to care and provide for their families.
Given the fact it's the summertime and it's hot outside, some people say, well, it's really not that bad. The need isn't that great. Are you seeing the same kind of need as almost during the wintertime?
We're seeing the same need, if not even more, during the summer months. I mean, it makes it a little easier during the summer months when they have the free summer meal programs also that's available. But we are still seeing the same need year long throughout the year.
And give us a little bit more about your community corporation programs.
So we have a food pantry. We have an after-school enrichment program. We have a summer camp program and a test prep program. So our after-school enrichment program goes throughout the school year from September to June, and where we offer enrichment programming for children ages 5 to 12, and they can come and they're learning music, they're learning dance, karate, and other activities that they do, homework help, and so kids are being enriched during these after-school hours, which is very critical for children to be in a structured place or in a safe place during after-school hours.
And what are the criteria for services if somebody wants to be a part of those programs?
All you need to do is come in, apply. We have a website. You can apply through our website, which is www.bbccorp.org. And basically you can just, fill out our application, and we don't turn away anyone, and, where there's a need, we try to assist families in meeting their needs.
And you have a summer camp as well?
And we do. We have a summer camp that's currently in session now, going through to August 11th. It's a 6-week program, and it's
a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Well, when you talk about the food pantry, obviously, that's a big need here in our borough.
Yes.
And as we were talking before about criteria, so if it's just a family that's in need, they can just come on through.
A family that's in need can just come right through. Yep.
And so you've been doing this since 2003?
2000. Well, we were incorporated in 2003.
Okay.
So we also, Bronx Bethany Community Corporation was birthed out of Bronx Bethany Church of the Nazarene. And it was the church's way of reaching out to the community, to meeting the needs that we were seeing. And so we started in 2008 with our partnership with the Food Bank for New York City. And from there, we've been serving the community since then. And we are continuing to serve and partner with the Food Bank for New York City.
And we saw the website, bbccorp.org, and that's where people can get in touch?
Yes.
All righty, so
Yes.
we want to make sure that people do that. And Melanie Blackwood, thank you for being our guest here.
Thank you for having me.
And continue to do the great work, Bronx Bethany Community Corporation.
Thank you so much.
All righty, listen, taking a quick break here on the show. Stay with us. We're coming right back right after this.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority. Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Well, it is summertime, and many people are going to the beaches to cool off as well as out to the pool. But do you know that many people still don't know how to swim? According to the CDC, there are almost 4,000 unintentional drownings in the United States, with African Americans having the highest in drownings compared to whites. Joining us now to talk about the importance of learning how to swim and lifeguard training, we welcome now New Settlement Community Director, Aquatic Director, I should say, Yalitza Valley, and Outreach Coordinator, Carielli Mercado. Thank you so much for coming to share with us.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
Good. And I said 'tis the season, and it is a good season. I mean, the weather's hot, and a lot of people are going to the pool, and I think it would be good going to the pool knowing how to swim, but as I said in the intro, there are a lot of people who really struggle with swimming.
Unfortunately, that's it so happens that it's in the
sector where all minorities are, and we're trying to. New Settlement is trying to bring to the Bronx, learn to swim through, and we teach children, tots, tots and babies from 6 months to 3 years old, and then from 3 years old to 5 years old, we kind of build up on it so that kids can actually start swimming. Now, the reason why we brought this to the community is because there's so many children out there that are just falling into the pool, and not by neglect, it's just the fact that kids happen to just sneak away from their parents, fall into the pool, and then that's the end of that. So in order for us to really try to prevent that, and it's no prevention, but it is something that we can actually start with, is to teach children and adults alike from all ages and all walk of life to swim.
And swimming is a big thing. And so you have water safety classes?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We offer water safety classes as well as lifeguard trainings. And it's very good because it's open to 16-year-old and older. So it does provide teenagers with a way to make money after school is over for the summer, and also think about maybe indoor pools for the winter time, such as hotels and other facilities that offer indoor swimming pools.
It's a job. It's a job.
Yeah, so it's a training and a job.
That's it. Are you finding more and more people coming out and taking advantage of this?
Unfortunately, no, but that's why we're here, to get the word out and to let the community know that we are available, and we are available for an affordable price, which is something that, you know, as a low-income sector, it's very important for our members to be able to afford it, but then also to see it as an investment where they will be able to earn that money back through working.
Was having a conversation coming in today talking about people who just like, you know, they really enjoy the weather, enjoy the summer, but yet and still when it comes to taking advantage of something like the pool, you really can't, because all you do is just pretty much just stand in the water, but not be able to swim. And you miss a whole lot by being able to do that. So for people who want to take swimming lessons, what's the time frame? What do they need to do?
Well, so our next registration is actually coming up on the 24th for our members, and on the 26th of July for our non-members. Our community center kind of operates in a different manner than other community centers. We offer 2 different ways of being able to obtain our swimming lessons. And so our membership includes our family and lap swim hours for the full year, and for a family of 1 adult and 2 children, it's $100, but it's $100 for the full year again. So our swimming pool is indoor and it's heated, so that allows you to use our swimming pool throughout the winter time. And the membership actually gives you a discount on our packages of classes. So our classes are generally 8 classes long. It depends on what time of the season you come in. For the winter time, it's once a week for 8 weeks, for a total of 8 classes. And during the summertime, we have classes twice a week for 1 month, which is a total of 8 classes. And for our members, it's $60 for the 8 classes, and for our non-members, it's $80. So you're looking at about $10 per swimming class.
That's pretty affordable for some. So for people who don't know about New Settlement, obviously you guys do a lot of stuff. You got swimming as well, but what else goes on at New Settlement Community Center?
So we have, so we actually teach capoeira for children ages 4 years old till seniors. We have ballet for children ages 4 to 12. We have yoga for adults, or I should say teenagers 16 years old and older, as well as salsa for 16 years old and older. We're kind of trying out different programming. So right now we actually do have a Baby and Me yoga class that we are trying to push, because we have read many studies where the importance of yoga and interacting with your child, it actually benefits the baby. So aside from that, we also have an ESL class that's starting out for people who would like to learn English. So we do encourage everyone to come down to our center down on 172nd and Jerome, and to check out our website as well at newsettlementcommunitycenter.org.
We also have the prenatal swim, learn to swim classes as well. We have a swim team. The kids started from the ages of 3 years old, and they've moved on to swim in the team. The team's name is the Blue Seals, and they're doing phenomenal this year. We have them in competitions all over, along with the Metro Swim League. So to get them started, get their nose really wet and say, okay, this is really something that I want to do. When I graduate from high school, I'd like to join the Olympics.
Right, and swimming is, I mean, it's a sport, and there are a lot of people that actually take advantage of the sport, but sometimes just getting people involved and through the door is the hard part. And as you said, you don't find the people really taking advantage, but hopefully through the show we can be able to get a couple more people to come on and take some swimming lessons or so.
Yeah.
So what do people do now? How do they get in touch with you guys?
Our number is 718-598.
Sorry. 718-758-5901.
Okay. And make sure you get that number out there. Also, you have the website, www.newsettlementcommunitycenter.org. Sorry about putting you on the spot like that. I forget my own number sometimes, too. I know, right? That's all right. Thank you both for coming to share it, and enjoy the summer. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
listen, take a quick break. We're going to have more shows. Stay with us. We're coming right back right after this.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today? Let's do those pearly whites, man. Yeah. Boys, check it out.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's the sound? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Well, on Saturday, July 29th, the Westchester Square Business Improvement District, along with Councilmember Jimmy Vaca and the Bharati Dance Academy and several community groups, will be hosting the 5th annual Bollywood in the Bronx. And here now to tell us about the event is the organizer, Bharati Kemraj, and Bomba player, Jose Ortiz, and no stranger. How are you?
Hello.
All is good?
Great. All is good.
Good. So we have a very special event taking place.
Yes, we do. It's the 5th annual Bollywood in the Bronx. 5 years ago, I had a little meeting with Lisa Soren, who's the executive director of the BID, And she took notes, and within a couple of weeks, we were able to put on the first ever Bollywood in the Bronx, featuring a taste of Indian and Caribbean culture. And here we are having the 5th one because it's been so successful. And the most amazing thing over the years is the diversity of our borough has really brought people out, but it's also changing the way that we're doing things, because it's not only featuring the Indian and the Caribbean culture, it's featuring everybody else that's a part of this borough. And that's how we have a little Bamba in there.
So if people don't know about Bollywood, what would you tell them?
Bollywood is basically the South Asian film industry. The way you have Hollywood, everybody, you know, gravitates towards those movies. We have in the South Asian industry, that's the cinema. They make movies every year. For every one Hollywood film, there's about 40 Bollywood films that's produced and showcased. And it's just about culture, it's background. People from India and the Caribbean through migration have all of these culture with them. And my ancestors were from India. I was born in Guyana. But the culture still carries on, and it's my roots, and I want to, you know, I wanted something that could be a little different from everybody else, but still incorporate people. So the Bollywood music, if you listen to it, actually fuses the culture together. You hear the Indian beats, but you also hear a little bit of salsa, a little bit of reggae, you hear the steel drums, you hear some bamba, and now they're getting more diverse. They're incorporating hip hop and all these different music into the Bollywood or the Hindi language, and it's amazing because everyone can relate to it.
Jose, you're playing?
Yeah.
And talk to us about playing and what's it like for you playing in front of all these people?
Well, it's, you know, it's always an opportunity to interact with other cultures, and you also learn a little bit about what you've been doing when you see these, you know, common musical, and so. But for me, you know, also Bombay is an awakening for our people. It's really it's a window of reclaiming that stolen identity. So it's very powerful. And so when we do Bomba, this is what's happening in our community. This is the intention, is to bring that awareness of identity and reclaiming that. And so when we talk about the oldest African-derived music in Puerto Rico, we're talking about the music that derived from the African diaspora. And this is important.
So as I'm looking here, you got instruments here. Somebody doesn't know what this is, tell us.
Yeah, this is the maraca, and this is what we call the kwa. And then we have the boleador drum. And so this is the instruments that we use when we're playing bomba, along with the voice, the song, and the dance.
And you get it going.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a recent collaboration thanks to Rosa and Gina from Mott Haven Bar and Grill, where we did a Bollywood and Bamba collaboration. Jose was there playing his music. I was doing some Bollywood lessons, and then we collaborated. And it was amazing to fuse the two together. For every beat, there was a different movement, and you can't go wrong because you're actually moving to the drum. And the great thing about this is people think that you have to dance a certain type of way to the music, but the music was actually playing to how they were dancing. And that was one important thing that Jose really brought out. It was like, you dance however you are, but your drummer, there's one specific drummer that's going to beat to your rhythm and the way you're moving. So that was an eye-opening in a sense for the community, because people aren't used to this. And if you're very much into your own, you really don't venture off. You'll listen to music here and there, you'll watch something on TV, but you really don't go out to these events. So we've been doing a lot of fusion over the years, especially this year. This 2017 has been amazing, but the Bollywood and Bamba has really kicked off to an amazing start. So we're going to showcase this at the 5th annual Bollywood in the Bronx, along with a lot of different artists. We do have Robert Martinez, who's going to be the DJ and sound at the Westchester Square Bid. We have performers. We have three sisters, Anjali, Karishma Rani, Chelsea. We have Lalita Dance Company doing Bollywood. Last year we had a little bit of mariachi dance group with Martha and her Mexican group. And we're just fusing it. So this is amazing. You know, Jose does a lot with Bombayo at the Andrew Friedman home and different things in the community. And every time I asked for a Bamba player, his name was one that came up over the years. So finally I was able to lock him down, and we were able to do something. And we're just excited that Westchester Square Bid continues to do such amazing work, but is willing to open up to the diversity in the borough.
You know, Jose's going to give us a little preview of what he's got going on.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
we'll play a little bit. Yeah, we'll play a little bit. We'll play a little bit. Are you going to dance?
I know, I'm just going to.
So, you know, what's interesting about Bomba, and I think that the next generation, next decade, we can still learn about Bomba, is because the rhythms have names. Quembe, because it has a name, it will always remain Quembe. So we can keep playing this and we keep playing this. So, you know, our music doesn't change. Right. Maybe the songs do, because it talks about our stories today. Right? And some traditional songs may go back to that traditional song. Something like, and then something like today, I might go, La bomba, la bomba, la bomba, la bomba, la bomba, la bomba,
Now, if you want to catch that, come on out and check Jose out. He's going to be out there along with very other special guests, and Barati, obviously, to have Jose and all the other artists out there. We're looking for a great time.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. You know, our borough is very diverse, and there's so much happening all around, and it's really nice when we can fuse the cultures together. It's great to appreciate your own, but when you learn to understand someone else's, it makes it even more magical. I like to tell people you can sing and dance by yourself, but it's so much fun when you do it with other people.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward for a great time. It's free to the community. We have a lot of giveaways, a lot of different vendors that are coming out, a lot of different artists that are professional that are now coming up. So anyone out there that wants to participate, our contact's on the screen. You know, you can check Jose out for his free lessons at Andrew Freeman Home. You want to learn the drums, you can contact
Give him
me.
free lessons, huh?
Yes, he
free
does.
lessons. It's only made possible because of the support of the Andrew Freeman Home. You know, they're giving me a space so that I can, you know, continue my work and support the community, the surrounding community. And I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
You know, I would not have been able to continue my work if not, you know, for these organizations that gives me the space to do this work.
How long you been playing?
Right, and I've been doing this since 1999.
Wow.
A long time.
Knocking on the door since 1999, and so, you know, it's been it's again, I didn't come into this because I wanted to be a musician. Bomba actually was reclaiming my identity.
So Saturday, July 29th, between what time?
1 to 3 p.m. at Westchester Square, Owen Dolan Park. Everyone's invited.
All right,
Yes.
well, you see the both of them there, and then some 5th annual Bollywood in the Bronx,
Wepa.
a taste of Indian and Caribbean culture. Please don't miss it. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you.
welcome.
And we'll see you soon, all
Yeah,
right?
yes.
All right, listen, I want to let you know we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank our guests for joining us, and most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, listen, if you missed any part of today's show, catch the recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimus Channel 67, Rising Files Channel 33, or watch us anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. Jose is going to take us out of here. Your heart, your mind, and this channel. Wide open.